Since the age of 18, when I joined the Royal Air Force, I've been fascinated by flight. Later as a pilot, for sport and for business. For me, flight, aviation is another passion. It's a way of life. Stansted was a radical departure. We literally turned the conventional terminal upside down, brought in natural light, and created a space that was welcoming and that was about the romance of flight. Since then, architects, designers have copied this model worldwide. In Hong Kong, we raised an island, chopped it down, created a site the size of Heathrow. At the time, the biggest airport in the world, and voted by the travelling public their most favourite. Beijing, like Hong Kong, was developing the model of Stansted, the reinvention of the airport, but here on an even more epic scale. The biggest airport in the world, but also the friendliest, all under one roof, a roof so immense, rather like an artificial sky. And again, voted by the travelling public as their favourite. For Mexico, what is the next step? What would revolutionize airport design? It's a tremendous opportunity. I approached Fernando Romero because I wanted to work with somebody, a younger generation, energetic, and to impart our knowledge, a true collaboration.
A lo largo de los últimos 7 meses, la relación con Norman Foster se fue estrechando y fuimos encontrando lo que cada uno podía aportar al proyecto. A los dos nos une el interés por la tecnología, nos une la posibilidad de que la arquitectura sea una herramienta de transformación social y nos une el interés de que este aeropuerto sea una obra emblemática que contribuya a construir la identidad de México en el siglo XXI.
To get the best team for the Mexico Airport project, I brought in the best airport planners, NARCO, the Netherlands Airport Consultancy, with huge experience, more than 500 airports around the world. As you fly over this building, you realize that it's not the conventional roof with the walls, but it is one continuous, almost streamlined membrane, incredibly beautiful and evocative of flight itself. Drawing through a conventional airport makes us realize just how many separate systems of structure, cladding and walls come together. By comparison, our proposal is based on one small element, great spans, lightweight, ideal for the soil conditions, lots of repetition, fast and economic. The system that we are proposing, which is made in Mexico, is as close to self-erecting, doesn't need scaffolding. It is composed of small elements, each of which is easy to handle. So it's all about prefabrication. It's about the most advanced technology of the day in terms of structure and environmental efficiency. This floppy chain, when suspended, forms in its shape the perfect tension structure. If we then made this rigid by applying a high-performance glue along the length of that, so that it then becomes rigid, and we turn that upside down, we end up with the perfect compression structure. Great span, soaring heights, 1/3 of the mass, and 3 times the span of a typical airport. This airport is about many things, but it is a sense of identity, the celebration of the place, the gateway and the romance of flight. And the entrance is truly heroic. It is on that great scale that we also associate with historic structures in Mexico and Mexico's historic heritage. Imagine you've arrived under this great sweep of a roof. You move through to departure, and at this elevated level you see the incredible space, column-free, vast, filled with light, truly uplifting. There are many ways that we can work with the sun and with nature and with lighting. We can emphasize the very beautiful forms as you move down the escalators into the heart of the building, probably colored by a yellow sunlight glow. And that gives you the clue, the orientation to the arms which move off and take you to the aircraft. This airport is about connectivity, short walking distances, convenience, minimum number of level changes, no getting on and off trains, no tunnels. It's about the celebration and the joy of space and light. If you're arriving and you look out of the window and you see this airport from above, you'll see this extraordinary shape. It's not a conventional roof, it's not conventional walls, it's beautifully sculptural in the landscape, and it's probably glowing with light. As you come inside that space, this is your first contact with the nation. This is a showcase of the ability to be able to construct this building from components which are made in Mexico. The greatest space of all is probably about meeting and greeting, and the easy connection to the transport that is going to take you to the city itself.
La antigua Tenochtitlán se fundó en el lago de Texcoco. Allí apareció por primera vez la imagen del águila arriba de un cactus comiendo la serpiente. Es por eso que fue para nosotros muy importante que esta imagen estuviera representada en nuestro proyecto. Un jardín de cactáceas recibirá a quienes lleguen a la terminal. La vía de acceso se construirá con elementos que simbolicen a la serpiente. Y el techo de entrada evocará al águila, con sus alas abiertas en vuelo. Toda una estructura ligera que nos conecta de inmediato con la experiencia de volar. El arte mexicano y la arquitectura misma se distinguen por el intenso colorido. Es parte intrínseca de nuestra mexicanidad, desde la arquitectura prehispánica hasta la contemporánea. Es por eso que para nosotros el color debe abordarse no solo como un aspecto decorativo, sino también como la traducción del desempeño de la estructura. El sol fue símbolo fundamental entre las culturas mesoamericanas. Basta ver el calendario azteca. Por eso para nosotros el epicentro del proyecto nos recordará la importancia del sol en nuestras culturas. La monumentalidad está conectada con grandes estructuras. México tiene una tradición de lograr hacer edificios cuya ingeniería ha sido extraordinaria. Para nosotros es muy importante que este espacio central sea una celebración a la ingeniería mexicana, que el edificio es un símbolo de lo que la ingeniería mexicana puede lograr construir.
An airport is beyond processing aircraft and movement. It's a catalyst for development. So it's very important that the airport is seen holistically as part of a larger community in terms of landscaping, encouraging other uses, a social focus in its own right.
Pero que sea parte de todo un master plan que tenga una visión socialmente responsable, puesto que este proyecto está en medio de una zona de gran subdesarrollo social. El proyecto tiene que ser un detonador de desarrollo social, de justicia social. tiene que ser una oportunidad de generación de empleo y tiene que ser una oportunidad para transformar todo el contexto.
This setting is a reminder of the importance of working with nature. By working with nature, we can create an airport that is really sustainable, that will be the world's first LEED Platinum rating. For example, the climate in Mexico City is such that for nearly half of the year, we can work with the air at ambient temperature. The rest of the year, minimum heating and cooling, a mild air displacement system, which together with all the other techniques, distributing air through pipes in slabs, insulation, harvesting energy, we've pioneered these techniques over a period of nearly 50 years, working with environmentalists, research groups, specialist engineers, to ensure that this airport will truly be the most sustainable on the planet.
Un edificio que cuide el entorno, un edificio que sea consciente del valor que tiene toda la superficie donde antiguamente estaba el lago de Texcoco y la importancia que tiene a nivel hidrológica con la relación de la Ciudad de México.
This project is very specific to its site. We know the soil conditions are very special. We know the seismic conditions also. So we have a response to the very tight timescale to achieve this in 4 years design and build by being able to pile, create the enclosure without scaffolding, and within that enclosure to create the layers, very, very simple construction, lightweight, and for all this to happen simultaneously. If we take a crystal ball and we look into the future, 2062, how do we know what the needs will be? All we can say is we want the most flexible enclosure that's possible, that can accommodate internal change. So spans of, for example, 100 meters, that gives us total flexibility for the future. In summary, we've taken a holistic approach to the design of this airport. We show a model which will be an inspiration for future airports, which will be efficient, operationally flexible for the future, and above all, beautiful and a great experience.